Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you today to lead you again in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. I'm so glad that you're here with us on today. So we did to prepare to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Make sure you like, share, tag somebody in this post. If it's a blessing to you, it's going to be a blessing to them. We are grateful and thankful for this opportunity. Today is day 228. We're going to get this thing straight. We're going to talk about the life of the person I love mattered. The life of the person I love mattered. When I read the title of this lesson, it made me start thinking of when we started this Black Lives Matter movement, right? That it started because it seemed like black lives were being devalued to the point that they were being taken, right? And somebody posed the question, do black lives matter, right? We're saying, yeah, black lives matter. And so just this whole movement about how black lives matter and how they were just undervalued and we wasn't even a full person back in the day, and people didn't consider us to be human and all of this stuff that we still even today we still got to deal with people who don't value the lives. Some some people don't value life. Period. Some people don't value the lives of black people. I love this because as it relates to our grief and what we're going through and deal with, it says the life of the person I loved mattered. The life of the person you love. Guess what? That life matter. And even if they wasn't on stage, and even if they didn't have millions of followers, and even if the world didn't know their name, you got to know and understand that that life and those aren't the standards, those aren't the benchmarks, that none of that none of that matters. The life of the person who died, you got to know and understand that life matter. Let's talk about it, y'all. When a person dies and vanishes from this world, they not only leave behind a physical empty hole in the present, they also leave behind a void of meaning. This person lived and died, and now they're gone. Did their life amount to something? Did it matter? Will they be remembered? Did their life amount to something? Did it matter? Will they be remembered? Y'all, please understand once again, all it takes is one. All it takes is for them to matter in the life of somebody, right? And I don't care whether you knew, whether when you start talking about people in general, whether you knew them or not, whether you had a connection with them or not, this, that, and the other. When somebody transitions, when somebody dies, that life matter. It mattered to somebody, right? And you really start thinking about the people that you've lost. You really start thinking about, like I said, even if names wasn't in the bright lights and didn't have platforms and none of that stuff really mattered. It's like it mattered to me, right? They mattered to me in some type of way. That life mattered to me in some type of way. Um, in some type of way, right? It matters. So let's talk about it, y'all. Ooh, I love it. This is important. Here's what I know. Yes, their life mattered. They mattered to me. They mattered to others. They even mattered in ways I wasn't a part of and know nothing about. I'm working on finding ways to memorialize and honor the life and death of this one precious life. I was telling Tamika yesterday that so back in the day I had a singing group. Back in the day we had a singing group. We had some history. We went to high school together, and we did a lot of shows together. We have history. This is the key word. We had history, and of course life happens. People go their separate ways. But recently came in contact with a few of them again, and now because this was back in 95, 96, 94, 95, 96. And so it's now 2024, 97 maybe. It's now 2024. So we are, that was 27 years, 28, 29, 30 years ago. Right, 30 years ago that we were singing and doing this and spent a significant amount of time together. And now 30 years later, right, 27 years later, um, came across some of them. I said, "Yo, I got numbers," and I said, I'm gonna put all of us on a text thread, so that we can line up our schedules, so that we can go and catch up. It's been nearly 30 years, so that we can go and just talk about our life. And we had dreams and hopes of the future. And I mean, of course, the group broke up and we all went our separate ways. But the reality is, and I said, we have history at some point in time, and they still matter now, but all of us, we mattered so much for one another. We depended on each other. We harmonized together. We depended on each other's contribution in order to produce what we produced. That we depended on one another. I mean, we traveled together. We ate together. We cried together. We went through pivotal circumstances together. And even though like we haven't been connected, over the course of the last 27, 30 years, we got history that you can't erase, right? And I told Tamika, I said, before one of us checks up out of here, it is important that we get together because their lives mattered, right? Their lives matter. And I think it's important for us to know and understand, y'all, that when somebody touches your life in some type of way, when you are connected and affiliated with people, whether it's old, whether it's new, or whatever the case may be, their life matters, right? It matters to you, it matters to somebody else. And so being sensitive to this thing called life and making sure that you maximize the minutes and the moments, and you make memories, and you take the time, make the time to take the time to do what you got to do, right? To make the time to take the time to make sure. I did a funeral yesterday, and she ain't watching, so I don't care. And this one lady got up and had remarks and just kept talking about how, yeah, and it was at the church, said, yeah, she kept inviting me to the church, but I was so busy. I was so busy. I never made it. But she kept on inviting me to but I never made it. And I'm sitting there just saying, you just full of excuses. That's what I'm saying to myself. Because watch this, if it matters, you gonna make time. If it doesn't matter, you gonna make excuses. Let me say this, if they matter, you're going to make time. If they don't matter, you're going to make excuses. Y'all hear what I said? If they matter, if they matter. We're talking about how life matters, right? We're talking about the people that's transition. We got to strengthen what remains. If they matter, guess what? You're going to make time. If they don't matter, you're going to make excuses. If it matters, you're going to make time. If it doesn't matter, you're going to make excuses, right? Make sure you maximize what matters. Maximize who matters in your life. And for the people that have transitioned and going on, did their life matter? Absolutely, because it mattered to you. Let's look at this final thought, y'all. So very important. Appreciate y'all joining us today. The life of every butterfly impacts the entire world. The life of every butterfly, it impacts the entire world. Today is day 228. We just got that thing straight. The life of the person I love mattered. It mattered. Y'all got any questions, comments that y'all want to share? Questions, comments, that y'all want to share on this morning? If y'all got them, drop them. Questions, comments. Questions, comments. 2024. Questions, comments. What is it? August 30th. Okay. We got some stuff coming up that I'm looking forward to. Boom, boom. Oh, it's on Friday this year. Oh, shoot. It's football season. Okay. This was good. Thank you, Keisha False. Amen. Amen. I appreciate y'all. Look, this is I took a grief share class Tuesday, and I was thinking about you. I told them that I go to yours every morning, and it was like, that's good. And I told him Indianapolis time. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah. Felicia Henderson, thank you. And again, I love it because it takes a village, right? It takes a village, and it takes a number of different um, opportunities or people on your team. I always talk about building your team to help you to navigate through your season of grief. It's not just one thing, right? You need a coach, a counselor, a therapist, a church. You need a pastor. You need a grief group. You need a devotion. You need all of these things on your team to kind of help you to navigate through what you are experiencing. And so, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to be on the team. Maximize who, what matters. Period. 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 Maximize who and what matters. Man. Well, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a thriving Thursday. Y'all hang in there. Remember, small steps lead to great distances. We're going to continue to move forward and navigate through our grief journey. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. See y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. You matter.